Hey everyone, welcome to the Bariatrics and Tips Kitchen. I'm Michelle Geeson, your hostess with the mostest. I am so glad we're here for our summer schedule of bariatric tips. You are going to learn a lot today. It's a delicious recipe, a take on a very comforting item that I love. If you like French onion soup, you're gonna love French onion chicken. It is so great. Like I said, it's decadent. It gives me a savory, comforty, homey, cozy feeling that I just love. And it's been bariatricized for your eating pleasure because, as we all know, one of the things we have in common is that we've all had weight loss surgery, or maybe we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery, or whether or not you're trying to strive for overall health and wellness, combat a diagnosis like diabetes. It doesn't matter. Whatever the reason, you're here. We're glad you're in the right place, because I really feel like this bariatric journey has opened my eyes to knowing what I want and not feeling deprived or not feeling like I can't have something. I am not gonna walk through the rest of my life wondering if I can have this or that, being asked if, can you eat that, or is that okay for you? The truth of the matter is, you guys, we can eat whatever we want. The difference is, it's what we choose. It's being mindful, it's paying attention to portion sizes, it's questioning whether we're truly hungry or if we're just head hungry. Lots of different things go into the equation, but the education that we're receiving as bariatric patients help set the pace and pave the way for this never-ending journey. And we can do it. We can live life to the fullest. We can eat the things that we choose, and we can do it full of flavor. We can find flavor everywhere, and this recipe demonstration is no exception. So, couple things first. Everybody say hi to my camera girl, Maya. Say hi, Maya.
Hi.
Maya's about to turn 18 a week from Monday. She's rolling her eyes at me. So I just wanted to give her a shout out. And she's in the midst of summer, about to start a babysitting gig on Monday. So she's ready to roar. Right, Maya? Can you roar for me? No. She's like, no. Anyway, so Maya's behind the camera. She's going to come over this way in just a moment. If you have any questions about any of the ingredients, any of my reasoning, any of the seasonings, anything gadget-wise, ingredient-wise, let us know, because Maya will let me know if someone's chiming in. If you want to say hi, if you want to ask a question, definitely do it. And if for some reason I don't address your questions or concerns during this live recipe demonstration, I do go back and I comment on every single comment that you make. So we're good, okay? Everybody cool? Is there any questions, any comments, any concerns? All right, well, come on over. Let's go over the ingredients list first, because that's most important. The first thing we're gonna have is a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. I like to pound them so that they're uniform. I don't want to pound them so that they are too flat, that they get rubbery. Why are you laughing? Okay, she's laughing. Can I see why? Who's saying what? Is anyone saying something? No? Why are you laughing? My camera girl's going crazy, you guys.
You said it.
What?
Well, you said pounding.
Oh, Maya, you're filthy. I got a filthy child. All right, so you want to make sure that the chicken breast is at a uniform width, thickness. Come on over here, Maya. Don't be shy. Here's my pounded chicken breast. Okay? Not too thin, not too thick, because you want it to cook. Come on. Keep it clean, Maya. God. She's a nut, you guys. All right. Want to make sure you salt and pepper the top and the bottom, front and back, top, bottom, whatever. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in this exercise. Now, it took me a while to be at peace with cornstarch. As a bariatric patient, cornstarch adds calories, it adds carbs, but when you look at it and you break it down, it's really not that bad. Now, if you're hell-bent on not using cornstarch, you can use all-purpose flour. You could probably even use almond flour, but we're trying to use this as a thickening agent too. So 2 tablespoons over a pound of chicken isn't going to be any big deal, you guys. 35 calories a tablespoon and 9 grams of carbs. I'm at peace with this. There are times where the ingredients that I choose, such as cornstarch, such as olive oil, they're all for the greater good. Olive oil is the good fat as opposed to lard or butter. And I use it sparingly. So again, I'm at peace. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of olive oil divided. We're gonna use a tablespoon of each of Worcestershire sauce and balsamic vinegar. We are gonna use 2 medium to large onions. It depends on how much you love your onions. I love onions. This is one of the foods that I hated as a kid and love as an adult. So these have been sliced and ready. And then we are going to use a half a teaspoon of dried thyme. We are gonna use a cup and a half of low sodium, salt-free chicken broth. And then we're gonna use 8 ounces of Gruyere cheese, and if you don't have Gruyere, you're gonna use Swiss. I love using both. Sometimes I use a mix. I went to the store this afternoon to get some because it was on sale and it was all gone. So today I'm just using Swiss, and I ended up buying blocks of Swiss and then shredding them myself. So here is my Swiss. All right. So those are our ingredients. That's the lineup. The first thing that we're gonna do, and Maya, can you please come here and kind of like stand like I'm standing so that way they can get the proper view. We are gonna take we're gonna take our cornstarch. This is a 2 tablespoon scoop. So I'm gonna spoon I'm gonna drop it. 2 tablespoons of this bad boy. Right at the bottom. This is where it gets a little messy. And I know that if I have a really good meal and it's a really good recipe, I'm probably gonna make a huge mess. So you just sit back and watch. It's gonna be great. All right. So we are going to, we are gonna make sure that the chicken is kind of dusted in the cornstarch. And once it is, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn the oven on. Hold on 1 second. You can come over here, Maya. We've gotta get this cast iron skillet. Sorry, I switched gears. I just wanna get this hot. We're gonna use our first tablespoon of olive oil right here. Let's get that bad boy pretty hot. So now let's go and coat the chicken. Gotta do this in order. Once it's coated, make sure you shake off the extra. You can put it back on here for a hot second. And just see, there we go. Michelle's making a mess. All right, little shake and bake if you remember those days. All right, we're gonna shake it good. All right, got piece number 3. Now this chicken, I actually take a chicken breast and I butterfly it and cut it, the width out of it, so that really, even though you see 4 pieces of chicken here, it's actually 2 chicken breasts that I got right out of the package. And I do that to make it thinner, to make it easier to pound with a mallet or a tenderizer. I have both. And then it's just a lot easier. So this is really 2 pieces of chicken, even though it's 4. And, you know, speaking for my husband, he could probably eat 2 of these pieces. I'm content with 1 and sometimes not even. And so I like how I do that. You guys do what works for you. All I'm saying is that it helps the cooking time if everything is even and uniform. Okay? Cool. Let's walk on over here. So we're gonna heat our first tablespoon in a skillet. Now you don't have to use cast iron. You can use whatever works for you. I'm addicted to cast iron. It is my favorite. Hi Betty, thanks for watching today. So once this pan gets really, really hot, we are going to put, I like to make sure I spread the joy. All right, let's get our chicken put in. Where did my tongs go? All right. 1 tablespoon of oil. And we're gonna just do a few minutes on each side until they're golden. So this is real time, you guys, so I don't have any commercial break or anything else to do while this stuff is cooking. So I hope you will indulge me. Feel free during this time to ask questions. Let me put this in the sink. And you know what, you guys, look, there's still a lot of cornstarch left over. So in the grand scheme of things, 2 tablespoons or less is what you're gonna do, and you can even short it. You can start with 1 tablespoon and see if that works, or you can go straight to 2, or you can do 1.5. The best thing about a recipe is that you can cater it to your needs. And I spent a lot of time over the years, I'm 8 years out from gastric bypass, a lot of my time, what I call bariatricizing recipes that I know and love, because again, I don't want to feel deprived of anything. The thing that I hate the most is when someone tells me that I can't do something or can't have something. I go into cuckoo mode. So what's the best way to combat that kind of control freak type A behavior is to make things my way. And so bariatricizing recipes has been a real pleasure to do on my own wellness journey. I'm down 130 pounds and I feel great. And I know that it's because I've not only taken a physical journey, but I've also had an odyssey of the mind, a complete brain retrain, and making sure you know that you can stay in control and that you're choosing to eat this or choosing to have that really, really makes a difference when you're at the grocery store, when you're in the kitchen, having fun, experimenting, at any aspect of your life. So take what you need from that little that little sermon. And so here, let's check our chicken. We want them to be golden on both sides, and this is where we're gonna end up hearing the theme from Jeopardy, because we're gonna be playing Beat the Clock. If your chicken seems that it needs a little bit more olive oil, I just kind of do a little dabble do ya. I don't wanna OD on olive oil, but I also don't wanna short myself either. Olive oil has great nutritional benefits, you guys, and I consider it the good fat. One of the things that I learned is that good fat is often, the good fats out there are the ones that are liquid at room temperature is what I think I recall. You don't want them congealing at room temperature, because if they congeal at room temperature, think about what it's going to do to your arteries. There's my high horse. So olive oil is just good stuff. See how we're starting to get a little bit of a crust on there? I'm just going to give it another whirl real quick. Hi, Crystal. Thanks for watching. Hey, you guys, ask questions. If you have any questions, if you just started tuning in, we are making French onion chicken. It's a great take on an amazing, comforting soup. Pay attention, Maya. She's like falling asleep behind the counter or behind the camera. All right. And we are making this. It's going to be super comforting. It's going to be delicious. And you're not going to feel like a bariatric patient after eating this meal. But you can go to sleep with a clear conscience knowing that you had something that made you happy and you still were able to nourish your body. And that is one of the best gifts that you can give. All right, we're turning these bad boys over. So the chicken's just going to cook a few moments on the second side, and then we're going to take them off the oven for a little, or off the stove for a little bit. Hi, Jamie. Nice to see you. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Feel free to say something so we can respond to your comments. I'd love to have a conversation, especially while we're waiting for this chicken. It's like waiting for water to boil. But we can kind of talk about this real quick, Maya. The balsamic vinegar and the Worcestershire sauce. Two wonderfully pungent, delicious, flavorful concoctions that is going to go into our French onion soup to transform chicken broth into this savory, flavorful concoction that is literally making my mouth water as I'm discussing it. So a tablespoon of each, just regular balsamic vinegar. Fun fact, when you're buying balsamic vinegar, Maya, maybe focus really in on these words. Come real close right here. What are you doing? Oh, balsamic vinegar of Modena. That is what you want to make sure it says on your container every time you buy yourself balsamic, because You can have a balsamic blend, or you can have, which doesn't necessarily have the natural stuff. A lot of times balsamic blends have added things and sometimes added sugar. But when you're dealing just with balsamic vinegar of Modena, Modena is in Italy, and that is the founder of this balsamic vinegar, and you know it's legit. Balsamic vinegar overall has very low on the glycemic index, natural sugar, very low in calories, and I've been using a lot to flavor foods and salads and things of that nature. Okay, you can come back over here. My high horse is done. So we see that this is all set. So I'm gonna take the chicken off just for a few moments. We're gonna keep everything, all these little yummy flavor bits in the pan. We're gonna keep that going. Whew, let me get our onions. And now we are going to add the onions, and we're gonna stir these bad boys in with the other reserved tablespoon of olive oil. And again, I am not gonna put the entire tablespoon in because I might not need it, but I can always come back to it. So I'm just gonna do a quick swoosh or zhuzh. I like that word. All right, so these are gonna cook for a few minutes until they get nice and golden. We're gonna stir in our thyme. We are gonna stir in a half a teaspoon of thyme. The thyme really helps complement the Worcestershire and the vinegar pretty nicely, actually. All right. These don't take very long. I just keep you can let them go slow and maybe lower the temperature a little, or you can keep the temperature high and see where it takes you. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, I see Denise is on. Welcome. Ask us a question, Denise, so we can keep things going. This is French onion chicken. Holy cow, did I almost forget that? My word. All right. Melissa, you there? Let's talk. Let's schmooze. So you can see how all the flavor at the bottom of the pan. Actually, Maya, if you can come here for a second, you can see how all that flavor is burned off the pan and really just transferred to the onions. So these onions are going to be super flavorful, especially with the thyme. And then once we add the balsamic and the Worcestershire, we're going to be in business. I've got something I can say. Another thing that I like about this recipe is it doesn't require what my husband refers to as exotic ingredients. He hates exotic ingredients. So balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, onion, thyme, chicken broth, olive oil, chicken. Like seriously, it's easy and the ingredients aren't gonna break the bank. And that's really, truly the make of a good recipe. You can make this for a family of 6, 4, 2, 1, just as easy as you can anything else. And it's super, super flavorful. All right, look at this. How did this get? Okay, I'm using my fingers, sorry. Yum, yum. All right, so these look pretty golden to me. You can see they've cooked down a little bit, and we've got a little bit more room to move. And so I am going to add the chicken broth. We are gonna do 1.5 cups of chicken broth. I like to use salt-free and low sodium. There you go, you're gonna hear it roar. 1, 2. All right, let me get this out of the way real quick. All right, put that over there. So we're gonna give this a stir. Yeah, come on in, get in there. Show all that good onion footage. All right, so now let's do a tablespoon of Worcestershire. Oops, I just got that everywhere on the stove. You looked on my shirt, didn't you? You know me very well, Miss Maya. And the balsamic, which I love balsamic. All right. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Kim, break the ice. Break the ice, break the glass. Ask a question. All right, this is looking delish. Now, remember that the chicken is coated with cornstarch or flour if you decide to use. So we want to make sure that these get way down and dirty in there, okay? These need a bath. A bath in all this sweet broth. You want to make sure you're spooning the onion mixture. Lego, our doggy, just came in because I'm sure he used his Jedi training to smell chicken. Okay, so you want to get the chicken way deep down and dirty in there. Hi, Missy. Hola, Missita. All right, check that out, you guys. The cornstarch will help thicken it up. I am going to reduce this down and turn off the heat because now what we're going to do is we are going to cover this bad boy in 8 ounces of shredded Gruyere cheese, or what I like to call Swiss, because that's all I had today. Missy, since you're watching, I went to the store today to get the Gruyere. It was on sale for $1.88 a package. And do you think they had any left? No, they did not. So I ended up buying blocks of Swiss because that was cheaper, and I shredded it myself. So booyah. That is how I got around that. All right, look at that. That is lovely. So the only thing that's left is to put in the oven. The oven's gonna be preheated at 425 degrees, and really we are just cooking it for about 15 minutes till the cheese gets melty. You can even turn the broiler on and let the cheese get, you know, charred and yummy and ooey gooey. Oh, it's gonna be delicious. So I'm not gonna make you wait 15 minutes. I got one in the oven, so let's see what it's all about. Lego, I'd get out of here if I were you. You're gonna be a hot dog if you get scalded. All right, Maya, come take a look. Oh, you guys. Hold on, let me put this one in. Oh, guess what we're having for dinner tonight? We're having French onion chicken. All right, let me set the timer for 15 minutes for that batch. Let's take a look at this batch. I want you to get way in there. Okay, this is where you guys say, ooh, ah. All right, let's plate this up. I'm just gonna wipe this plate down. No judgment here. It had all the good stuff on it. Let me throw this away. All right, let's see. Let me get a spatula. Let's see what we can do to serve this up. Look at all the onions. They're so nice and crunchy. So this has been, my directions say about 15 minutes. This has been cooking for about 22 minutes. Okay, so plate. Oh, goodness. Onions on top. And Maya, let's come over here. This is where I want you to take a look. Now, there's no way I'm gonna be able to eat this whole thing. Let's just be honest. My eyes are gonna be way too big from your stomach, my stomach. But I do wanna make sure that we're all, as we ooh and ah. Here, you can focus back on me for a second. I'm gonna use extreme mindfulness in this exercise because it is so good, and I am going to feel obligated to eat it all, and I just need to know that I don't have to. It's gonna be a great leftover. I assume that it tastes really good frozen and reheated, but I do have to level with you that I've never done that before because it doesn't last long in our house. That's a good thing. Great portable meal for work. You can microwave it perfectly. You can rebake it in a deep dish baker or skillet. Let's hack into this bad boy. Come here. Maya. Oh, look at how wonderful the chicken looks. Nice and juicy and tender. Let's get some of this. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna put this all in my mouth on a live show, probably burn the living daylights out of myself, but we're doing it. I'm going in. Cheers, you guys. Yes, I'm happy. It tastes like French onion soup, only with some chicken in it. And the really great thing about this is, take the base recipe, minus the chicken, add a little bit more broth, bada boom, bada bing, you've got yourself some French onion soup. You are actually gonna get a bonus recipe today. I do have a French onion soup that I make that I love, and I use, wait for it, low carb homemade croutons using Aunt Millie's low carb bread, and you can use any brand you want. That's just my favorite go-to. And so you'll get 2 recipes for the price of none today. And the French onion chicken recipe will drop at 5 o'clock today on our page, Bariatric Tips. You can see today's live recipe demonstration as a replay on our page or on my YouTube channel, Bariatric Tips. Next week, we have eggplant lasagna, which is one of my all-time favorites. Or not next week, I apologize. We are on summer schedule. So we have, hold on, let me get here. July 15th, we have eggplant lasagna, which is gonna be delicious. That's a great meal that can be frozen and reheated and eaten the next day. So thanks for joining me today. I so appreciate it. I hope you love this dish as much as I do. It's amazing. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you soon. Always, always find joy in the journey. Bye.